Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to the second service. Reverend Sue Tenick was up here on the platform first service. She was wonderful. Thank you, Reverend Sue. Get the CD and take it home with you. I want to welcome all of you, especially if you're here for the first time. We welcome you with love. We are people of all faiths, all denominations, all backgrounds who come together, and we all affirm. Say it with me. Thank God I'm different from everybody else. See, isn't that great? So we have a wonderful lesson this morning, and in relationship to this day, metaphysically, we want to celebrate the Palm Sunday experience, realizing that what it is the grand entrance into a greater idea. The grand entrance into the realization that greater good is right where I am. It now unfolds in my experience as I move down the path. And what happens is when you decide to do that, and if you decide to do that and be greater good in action, looking for a place to happen, you discover that the synchronicity of that experience, in other words, everything it takes to cooperate with that, begins to come forward and lay the palm leaves in front of you and say, come on in. Come on in through the gates of doubt and fear and misconception, and realize that there is a great good waiting your discovery and application. Not to get it from somewhere else, but to recognize it where? Within yourself. What did Jesus say 2,000 years ago? You may look low here for it. You may look low here for it. You may look low there for it. You may look anywhere you want to look for it. You're not going to find it unless you look in the right place. And where did he say to look? Point to it. Here it is. See, it's right here. This is what you're looking for, the truth of you. And the discovery of that truth allows you to let it out and move forward. And when we go through experiences that are startling, sometimes if we learn from it, then we can cooperate with the greater good as it begins to unfold. We did that this morning as we were getting ready to come down here. A few days ago, I received a call when I was in class, and the Reverend Dr. Cynthia, who is my co-pastor and beautiful wife, and we do live together in a very interesting place. And where we moved into an area where there's some very interesting animals living, and one of them is about this long and has rattles on the end of it. And she found 4 of them in the yard the other day. And then we found one in the garage, and we put it in a box and called animal control, and they took it up and dumped it up, and so it would. We didn't want to harm it. We wanted to turn it loose in the right place. And so we got up this morning. Cynthia said, I'm going down early, and I said, great. So she got dressed and got in the car, opened up the garage door. I go down and get the Sunday morning paper and come back, and guess what was in our garage? Now, most rattles go like that. This was a little one that went but it was a snake. So and this time, I didn't pick it up and put it in the box. Cynthia did it. Let's give Cynthia a hand. You didn't know we're one of these snake handling religions, did you? Not afraid of snakes. All right. Anyhow, so we put the snake in a box, and I will go up this afternoon and find a nice isolated place to let it go and let it have its snakeness on down the line, however long that lasts. There's a wonderful quote. Did any of you get my email I sent out about this morning? There was a wonderful quote on it, and I want to share it with you because it really is a foundation for what I want to share this morning, and that is the superior design. Now, keep in mind, everyone say the design. The universe operates on by means of me. Is what? Your thinking. That's what Jesus said when he said, what? It's done unto you how? As you believe. And your belief system comes from what? Your thinking. Nobody else is doing your thinking for you. I don't care. How many try to convince yourself somebody else made you think what you think? Okay. How many been upset because of what somebody else thinks about you? Anybody? We've done it. 3 of us. Okay. Everybody say, what they were thinking about me didn't upset me. What upset me was what I thought they were thinking. See, it wasn't their thought that was bothering you. It was your thought about them that was bothering you. And if you can wake up to that without beating yourself up about it or going on a guilt trip, you can do what? Rethink anything. to free you into a greater idea of yourself. Rethink anything to free you into a greater opportunity to do what? To greater good in your life. Embrace it. Do what? Use it as a launching pad to even greater good. Dr. Holmes says, and this is in the textbook, the triumphant Christ. Now remember, Christos, is the awareness of oneness. It's thinking as oneness thinks. It's critical thinking as oneness thinks. It's not thinking about oneness. It's not thinking about God. It's not thinking about truth or greater ideas or success. It's thinking as success thinks. It's thinking as greater good thinks. It's thinking as unlimited possibility. I was talking to somebody before the service. We're not here to give you a canvas and have you paint by numbers and have everybody turn out the same painting. We are here to teach you how to be an artist, give you the brush and the canvas of your life, and let you paint your own masterpiece. Everyone say, there's a masterpiece within me. Waiting to come forth. I am an artist of life. Now, if you're going to be a true artist of life, you need to be an artist of thought. And we are teaching the science of mind, yes, but we are also teaching what? The art of thinking, not just the science of thinking. Dr. Holmes says, the Christ knows that his individuality is indestructible, that he is an eternal being forever, living forever in the bosom of the Father. Now, the Father being the overall principle, the unlimited possibility of infinite life, infinite intelligence everywhere at once that created you out of itself. He continues, the Christ triumphs over death and the grave, breaking through the tomb of human limitation into the dawn of eternal expansion. The Christ rises from the ashes of human hope, pointing the way to a greater realization of life. The Christ is always triumphant, is ever a victim and never defeated, needs no companion and no champion. Christ places its hand in the outstretched hand of the universe and walks unafraid through life. Okay. Everyone say, when I know what and who I am, and honor what I know, I can move through anything and be unmoved by it. What does that mean? It means the truth of you is greater than anything you're moving through. How many thought you were defeated by a situation only to get sick and tired of being in that state of consciousness, got yourself higher, and all of a sudden it's behind you? All of a sudden it's healed. All of a sudden it's over. Everyone say, when I get sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'll do something about myself. See? And people who are sick and tired and maintain it, they're just not sick and tired of being sick and tired yet. Okay? Because the challenge is when you change your mind, you change your life, and for you to know that and know you know it is to do something about what you say you know. Dr. Holmes continues, and I love this statement. Listen to it. Just close your eyes and listen to these words, and listen to how the poet Ernest Holmes put this concept together. Through the long night, though the long night watches, his hand clasps mine. At the break of dawn, his hand clasps mine. In the daytime of work and endeavor, from eternity to eternity, his hand clasps mine. When time shall have passed, when eternity shall be strewn about like falling petals, and space and world shall be swallowed up in everlasting blessedness, his hand clasps mine. His hand clasps mine. There's a power right where you are, and it's love. It has never left you. You don't have to earn it. And the only thing you need to be saved from is two things. First, people trying to save you. And second, your nonsense. Comfortable nonsense. There's one life, it's God, it's your life, and it will do anything you let go and let it do. It will heal anything it needs to heal, because the truth of you is health. And the truth of you is happiness, and the truth of you is joy, as we sang in this song this morning. And the truth of you is love. Dr. Holmes continues, we are never left without a witness of the eternal, and in our greatest moments, in those flash-like visions of mystic grandeur, we know that we are made of eternal stuff, fashioned after a divine pattern. that beautiful? It's in the textbook, everybody. The challenge we have, again, is to wake up and know. I have a wonderful poem for you, and I want to share it with you. How many are Charles Dickens fans? How many know that Charles Dickens was a pretty clear metaphysician if you go and look at some of his stuff? Listen to these words from Charles Dickens. And this is a good one to quote. Somebody say, "Is that religion you're following something new?" I got news for you people. This is the oldest religion on planet Earth. We go back to Lao Tse in the East. We go back to Aristotle in the West. We go back to the greatest thinkers who ever lived. Not the dogma, creed, ceremony people, but the thinking people of the age is who we follow. Charles Dickens said this. It's called Things That Never Die. The pure, the bright, the beautiful, that stirred our hearts in youth, the impulses of wordless prayers, the stream of love and truth, the longing after something lost, the Spirit's longing cry, the striving after better hopes, these things never die. The timid hand stretched forth to aid a brother's in his need, a kindly word in grief's dark hour that proves a friend indeed, the plea for mercy softly breathed when justice threatens high, the sorrow of a contrite heart, these things never die.